I spotted a group of giants on the move and called out to them, hoping to hitch a ride on one shoulder. After a moment's thought, the giant agreed. But just as he reached down to lift me up, the little fox suddenly started howling and turned down the offer for me. Left with no choice, I pressed on north, toward the place where my head was destined to be taken. A debt I'd owed for a year now. I'm King Arthur's nephew, the strongest claimant to the throne, yet I had no sense of chivalry, just spent my days chasing pleasure. To help me claim the crown, my mother cast a spell on Christmas and summoned the Green Knight. The knight stormed into the round table holding a holly branch and delivered a letter, challenging everyone to a game. Wound him in any way, and you'd win his glory and riches. But a year later, you'd have to meet him at the Green Chapel and let him return the blow. King Arthur looked around. No one dared accept, but I saw it as my shot at fame.
Remember, it is only a game.
Arthur handed me his sword. Then the Green Knight tossed down his axe, knelt and bared his neck. I was stuck. Strike him and I'd die in a year. Back down and I'd lose face. I made my choice. If I killed him, I figured there'd be no reckoning. So I swung hard and took off his head. I had proven my courage to everyone and turned to Arthur for my reward. But the headless body stood up, picked up its head, repeated the one-year deal, and left laughing. I became famous overnight, hailed as a hero, but as the year drew close, fear made me seriously ill. My mother poured everything she had into weaving a magic belt for me, promising that as long as I kept it on, I'd be safe.
Do not waste this.
If I made it back alive, I'd be knighted and inherit the throne. So I set out north with the axe. The countryside was torn apart by war, littered with bodies. A man searching for his family pointed me the right way.
There's a stream yonder. Everyone's not like...
Clearly hoping for a noble's generosity. I thanked him and walked off.
I said, are my directions not worth anything to you?
All I gave him was a single coin. Karma came quick. I got jumped by a gang of desperate people he'd gathered.
Tweren't enough. Just tweren't enough.
I stammered that I wasn't really a knight, that I'd already abandoned honor. They stripped me of the belt, took everything I had, and planned to take my place at the chapel. Tied up on the ground, I refused to just die there. I worked my way over to my sword, cut myself loose, and chased them all night, but they'd vanished. Exhausted, I stumbled on an abandoned house, checked that no one was there, and crashed. In the middle of the night, a girl appeared and demanded to know why I was in her bed. I tried to leave, but she stopped me.
I've lost something as well. Will you help me find it?
Fighting down my fear, I instinctively asked about payment. She looked confused and said, "Isn't doing good without expecting anything in return a knight's virtue?" Ashamed, I dove into the water to retrieve a skull that thieves had thrown away for her, but all I found was a fox, nothing else. When I placed the skull on the remains, the sun broke through, flooding everything with light, and the lost axe reappeared. Something clicked. I shouldered the axe and kept heading north. The road got harder, the weather unpredictable. When night fell, I took shelter in a cave. That same little fox from the house showed up again. I threw rocks to scare it off, but it kept circling back, eyes full of concern. I gave in and let it stay out of the rain. By morning, the fox was sticking with me. I pushed through mountains and rivers, completely worn out, when a massive hand suddenly rose from the hill ahead, shaking the ground. I scrambled up, begging the giant for a lift, but the fox went wild, letting out a sound that terrified the giants and drove them away. I wasn't upset. I understood that seeking the Green Knight was a test, and shortcuts meant failure. We kept going through the rain, and finally, just before disaster struck, reached a castle.
Bran, welcome!